Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Everyone, welcome to the show. So I'm still a little congested, but I am feeling a lot better. So I have an update for you about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested. Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So 29-year-old Texas resident Matthew Baggot was seen on video. He threw an empty water bottle toward a group of officers. Baggot was also seen on video entering, and he was inside the Capitol. He was wearing a Trump shirt, and the prosecutor says that he was present when other members of the mob were kicking doors down and when the first window was broken and breached to gain access to the building. Baggot was also part of that crowd that we all saw that followed Officer Eugene Goodman up the stairs, and they were all demanding to know where the votes were being counted. Well, that's when Baggot was seen on video. He grabbed an officer's baton because the officer was attempting to push back another member of the mob. Unlike other Trump insurrectionists, Baggot didn't brag about his crimes online, so there's no other details really to share prior to his arrest, which was on May 30th of last year. Unfortunately, Baggot was only charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, impeding passage through the Capitol, and parading in a Capitol building. In April of this year, Baggot pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct in a restricted building, and he was facing up to 1 year in prison, up to 1 year of probation, and up to $100,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested that Baggot be sentenced to somewhere in the middle of the federal sentencing guidelines. So that was essentially around 3 to 4 months. Then they also requested the 1 year of probation, 60 hours of community service, and $500 in restitution. Baggott's attorney asked for probation only, of course, and he said that he had regretted getting physical with the officers. He said that was his biggest regret because they were merely, quote, trying to defend our democracy. Then the attorney tried to downplay what he did, and he said that Baggot only grabbed the officer's baton for just a moment, and he had no intention of being violent that day. His lawyer also tried to say that the momentum of the crowd carried Baggot into the building, and this was totally out of character for him. U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta presided over this case, and he just wasn't buying it. The judge called January 6th one of the darkest days in our history, and he noted that Baggot had a, quote, defiant look on his face when he threw the water bottle and also when he grabbed the officer's baton. And Judge Mehta also said that Baggot could have walked away after he grabbed the officer's baton, but he said instead he appeared to stare him down. So when all was said and done, Judge Mehta gave the prosecutor basically what they asked for. Baggot was sentenced to 3 months in jail, 1 year of probation, and 60 hours of community service. And Baggot also has to pay a restitution fee of $500. So this is the minimum, as I've said before, that I think the nonviolent defendants should receive. But when you're confronting officers and you're getting physical with them, the prosecutor should have been seeking the maximum. So I don't blame this somewhat weak sentence on the judge. I blame the prosecutor for someone who was willing to grab an officer's baton to not seek at least 6 months. I don't get it. Or charge him with civil disorder, charge him with a felony. This was civil disorder. So for him to get off with a misdemeanor, I don't understand, and a short probationary period, which means that in 2024 for the next election, he's going to be off probation. So if he doesn't like the outcome of that election, he can throw another tantrum, and who knows what he's going to do, because he's seen there's little that you have to pay for your crimes. Anyway, guys, when and if I hear more, I'll let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.